Hello there fellow fans of Hollow Knight. Today I want to talk about upcoming opportunities for Silksong news and how Nintendo might have confirmed that the release window for the game is even smaller than we'd previously imagined. So let's start with the latter, and all credit to both Tom Nook 5085 and JizzX69 for this find. And special thank you to Jizz for making me say that, and I also apologise that I'm a bit late on this one, but look, I have been playing so much Expedition 33 lately, and the new Doom. As you'll recall, the Switch 2 is due to release on June 5th, and I actually cancelled my pre-order yesterday because I managed to secure one with the Mario Kart bundled in. Look, I'm not usually a Mario Kart fan, but the new one was actually really fun. Back on topic, the Japanese Nintendo store has their games split into categories. Ones that are scheduled for release on June 5th, ones that are releasing after June 6th, and then software with undetermined release dates. Please excuse any bad translations and direct any complaints to Google Chrome. Hollow Knight Silksong does appear in the list of software releasing after June 6th, which tells us two things. One, Nintendo has a release date. They could have put Silksong under the category for undecided release dates, but they didn't. That is an active decision on their part. Two, it's highly likely that Silksong will release after June 6th. Team Cherry have always maintained a stance of wanting the game to be accessible to all supported platforms on the same day. I would be incredibly surprised if the game dropped before June 6th and then at some point after just for the Switch 2. Keep in mind that we also know that Silksong is confirmed to be playable at Game Worlds, which is the limited time gaming themed exhibition starting on the 18th of September at the ACMI in Australia. Most fans waiting on the game are taking this to mean that it will be released to the general public before that date, because that museum doesn't typically showcase unreleased games. Though we still don't know the exact details around playable, including on what platform and how much of the game. I still maintain that it'd be surprising if they literally just had a regular copy of the game that people can sit down and play all day if they'd like, but maybe that's what that museum does. I know the ones near me, the exhibitions near me, it's not usually the full game unless they're retro enough that you can't cut it up in any way. Anyway, Reddit user Tom Nook 5085 went a step further and emailed them to ask if Silksong would be releasing prior to the exhibition. And while they didn't confirm either way, they did say to expect more information about Silksong via the mailing list soon. Now, I wouldn't recommend emailing them with questions like that, but it does sound like it is worth signing up for the emails if you haven't already. Keep in mind that IGN were previously the ones who shared the Hornet sprites that were all over the Halosphere for a few days with their coverage of the exhibition, so we know that the museum is going to be getting some interesting things that they can hopefully share with us soon. Also, I like Halosphere, I just made that up for the script and I'm keeping it. So, we could narrow down the release date for Hollow Knight Silksong to the 104-day period between June 6th and September 18th. As I always say, every day can be a Silksong news day. They could just drop a launch date reveal trailer on us at any moment, which is what makes it all so fun. Or they could feature in another big gaming presentation, so let's have a look at what we've got coming up in the next few weeks. And even if they did announce something by themselves on their own YouTube channel before these presentations, there is nothing stopping them from also sharing other information through these big events. This year's Summer Game Fest begins not with its opening showcase, but the Accessibility Summer Showcase a few hours earlier on the 6th of June. I'll pop all the known dates on the screen right now, keeping in mind that I don't believe there is currently a date for any Sony State of Play presentation, but they haven't said that they're not going to be doing one, and we know these things are sometimes announced with a day or two's notice. Even though Jeff's made it very clear that he'd love to be the one to introduce anything related to Team Cherry or Silksong, I still believe the Xbox Game Showcase is most likely to have anything. Maybe that's unfair. The opening ceremony has had some notable announcements in the past, including the LEGO Horizon Adventures reveal, the release date for Spider-Man 2, and not forgetting Sam Lake taking the stage to announce the first Alan Wake 2 DLC. I'll still watch as many live streams as I'm awake for, and I recommend you do the same, even if you just love games. The Xbox Game Showcase conveniently falls on the same day as my partner and I's anniversary, so I am hoping that this is the one year he's forgotten. We literally just got Oblivion Remastered and a new Gears 1 remaster/remake. They keep using both of those words interchangeably along with it being re-engineered from the ground up, so please don't shoot the messenger. Anyway, those two just dropped out of nowhere, so what on earth must they have planned for the main event? Of course, we already know that there's going to be a whole direct dedicated to The Outer Worlds 2, which I am very excited about, but what else? I would expect Gears of War E-Day to show up, maybe some more news about Fable 4, and hopefully a Silksong release date. Aside from the Summer Games Fest presentations, there is Gamescom's Opening Night Live, another Jeff Keighley event in August, which I feel like has nearly no chance of getting any Silksong news, so let's rule that one out. But between Summer Games Fest and Gamescom, there will be another Bit Summit event. This is the Japanese indie game show that Team Cherry was spotted at last year. Now, I'm not saying that we're gonna get some huge news about the game through this smaller event, it is a much smaller event, but they have done interviews there in the past. Selfishly, I'm hoping the game is out before this event and that they do attend and have an interview of some sorts, so maybe they can share some extra insights into the game or development process. I'm pretty sure we'd all appreciate that. I won't keep you any longer than I need to, so that's everything for today. It does feel like we are truly, finally nearing endgame at this point. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.